Velites, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Now, African leaders are forced to speak out, to tell us the truth. We have been waiting for these people to boldly admit to us that what they have been doing for all these decades haven't yielded any result. And for that matter, they have failed. But none of them was able to come out until today. The president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, openly admitted when the youth ask, why is it that Africans cannot move freely among themselves? When are they going to do away with these borders? When we go to Europe, we can see, especially these are leaders who have the chance to travel there. They see how these people are moving among themselves freely. These are the same people who impose borders on us. So when are we going to see that free movement in Africa so we can trade among ourselves easily? Instead of us always sending everything out of the continent to go and trade more with these yellow pawpaw. And at the end of the day, we see that because we trade less among ourselves, our economies are collapsing. And when we send these things there, these people decide to give us any price that they so wish. And Paul Kagame said, if this problem could be solved by summits, all African problems will be solved by now. And it is true. It is true. According to Paul Kagame, we the people are even ahead of the leaders, and that is amazing. We are ahead of our leaders. That is why we can sit in our respective countries and outside of Africa, those in the diaspora, to unite with Captain Ibrahim Traore, to rise up and support Captain Ibrahim Traore, to defend Captain Ibrahim Traore, to see and call for unity among ourselves.
African countries, to travel from one African country to another is a big issue. We're talking about conflict, but before we even go to conflict, it's very difficult to just cross from one border to another. You have been complaining yesterday of the fact that it's a challenge to convince your colleagues. I want to know what they tell you. What is their problem? Why aren't they ready to start opening those borders, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
Clear question there. What's the problem?
I know the problem, but I can't find the answer.
Well, identifying the problem is always the first step.
Yes, but I'll probably speak to the two questions combined.
Please, yes. We're tight for time. Yeah.
First, the conflicts inevitably affect regional integration.
Yes.
But one, I want to see it as having problems which we must try and address simultaneously, rather than just saying, let's address one, then we move to another. While we try to prevent or resolve conflicts that exist, we at the same time have to be working on integration.
Yes.
Because there are aspects of integration that can make progress even with the conflicts that we have. In fact, the beauty of it, well, I'm not talking about the beauty of conflict, I'm talking about the beauty of having such a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah.
Is that we have seen already the people of any country in our region or beyond. The African people, for them, they are ahead of their leaders in terms of understanding the importance of integration or even practicing it. They are doing business, there is trade going on, even with bullets flying over their heads. They are busy doing that. So it's a responsibility of governments, of leaders, political leaders, to make sure that this should not be the case, or it should not be normalized, that we can keep on conflicts and then, okay, and say, there is integration taking place after all, so why don't we? No, I think we need to tackle both, prevent conflicts, or stop them, at the same time encourage regional integration, because that is what should be. And if you look at the African continent, in fact, I didn't say that I did not convince African leaders to the importance of regional integration. I was only referring to the difficulties where, for example, I have to, in fact, commend the African leaders who, in the first place, have been behind the thrust of seeing regional integration, of seeing the CFTA. They are the ones, the leaders are the ones who sat and said, we know we must have this continental free trade area, because they wanted it. They knew the importance. But this is in spite of the fact that conflicts have been there, or others will come, and so on and so forth. So leaders should go beyond just dealing with one issue at a time, but rather address across the board.
Across the panorama of concerns.
That's what we need to do. So, I agree, conflicts affect regional integration, and we need to put more time and energy and everything we have to make sure that we reduce on or eliminate conflicts. Same time, encourage regional integration. In fact, one helps the other.
Reinforcing, mutually reinforcing.
Yes. If you do that, regional integration encourages trade, business to happen, and these things help reduce on the conflicts or the causes of conflict once people are busy with the most serious issue. We are actually our own problems. There is a mentality out there, it's sort of a mindset in our continent that somebody out there is going to foot the bill of our development. The frustration here for me is what we have agreed, even at a continental level, involving all leaders and how regional communities should work, with the AU at a continental level, is not implemented. The systems are so bureaucratic that you imagine they live in another world. Africa should be far ahead of where we are now. We export raw materials, all right?
Right.
And then import
the finished product.
Finished products. We export talent and then get experts coming to give us all kinds of things. I mean, why don't we retain this talent and let the talent to do what we need them to do for ourselves?
Our leaders are sleeping. They are much deep asleep. These people are not seeing things the way we see. And it is beautiful that a leader like Paul Kagame is admitting to that fact. As we, the youth, the young ones, have risen to see the failure of these systems that these people have been operating with for this number of years, our leaders are still finding comfort in them. Our leaders are still admiring everything of Jolopopo. These people have not seen that it's because we are doing the same things for these decades without getting any result. That is what is keeping us backwards. So for that matter, we have to do otherwise to see if there's going to be a different result. No, never. The African leader is always holding on to what they know. Change is something that African leaders are scared of. And that is why Captain Ibrahim Traore rightfully said, all in all, democracy is not something that can give us the liberation that we are looking for in Africa. And there are people who are calling for a revolution. The Africa, we need a revolution to do away with the systems that these people have kept in place, because all these systems are benefiting Jolopopo. And we told our leaders that every year you organize summits, like this African CEO forum that they have gone to. They'll go and give a speech. When they walk out from there, that ends it. All the solutions that they have, laid out to the African problem goes to sleep. Why is it that even up to date the African cannot move freely among ourselves? We still need visas to enter into any country in this 21st century. These people are making sure that we never do away with the systems that they've created. And the African leader is aware of the problem, yet they don't have the solution to it. And even with the solutions that they lay out, it's just in the summit. It's just that the leaders were the ones that were sleeping. And now that he has made it clear to them that the leaders, the citizens, are far, far ahead of them. Because we see things that these people don't see. They see everything through the lens of the oppressor. So that is the reason to which they can never take bold decisions. We have seen that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are different from these people because the lens that they are using to see the African problem is different from these people. They are seeing the things with the eyes of Africa. Now, every leader who loves the truth will have to come out and voice out. They can no longer hide it. Recently, Duma Boko made it clear to us, and a Namibian politician will go to Kenya. There are leaders who are coming out to voice out and support Captain Ibrahim Traore. What is AU? AU always sit down and have the interests of other people at heart. We have never seen AU running to solve the African problem. Anything that has to do with Africa that we need AU to come in and do something, AU is always silent about it. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, look at what is happening in DR Congo, and people outside of the continent have to come in to solve the problem in DR Congo. Yet we have African Union. When we go to EU, that these people always adopt their things. We've seen what EU is doing, but these people haven't seen anything of that unity that EU has to implement it in Africa. Because these people are eating on our division, and because these ones are serving them, they can never walk the talk of bringing the unity that we want in Africa. This is hard truth and a bitter truth to the African leader. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, East Africa, and in Rwanda.